This is Matt with Olympus Reptiles. Today is a very exciting day. Let me tell you why. You're going to watch us tear this room down. You're probably thinking, gee, Matt, not so long ago I saw you expand your reptile room and now you're tearing it down. Well, partly, and I'll explain. No, we're not changing systems. We're still going to be using TGR racks. We still love these things. They work great. But we have more racks currently than what we need because we set it up for expansion. But we also knew that these racks wouldn't hold us very long, and we were going to outgrow them. So what do we need? More space. So we're going to start our transition into the new reptile cabin today by moving a few of these racks over. Now, we're not going to be putting snakes in them. Why are we moving them over now? Well, let me show you something. If you come over here and you look in a tub like this girl's been nesting, twisting around, rolling. You can see how she's laying. She's about to pop. Let's look at one more down here. This one here, also the way she's laying, twisting, it's up underneath. She's about to pop. So I'm kind of letting these girls be. She's getting close. But we have several females that are getting really close to popping and laying eggs for us. You've heard me talk about stress. Most recently in our spider ball python video, I talked about how stress can affect snakes. Well, it affects the spider, but it also affects all snakes, especially ball pythons. So in order to lower the stress, when these females lay eggs, one thing we do is we do a full change of the tub. So we'll take that tub, we'll wash it, we'll do everything. A lot of times I just move them to a whole new tub and then set that tub for cleaning later. Well, as they lay, because I don't want to move them now and then move them later to the new reptile cabin, we're going to get these racks set up, rocking and rolling and ready to go. So when they lay, I can transition them to a new, clean, sterile setup tub over at the new place, and we'll begin that transition of moving. Hopefully by the middle of the year, this room will be empty and all of our stuff will be over there. So now, we'll show you how it looks set up. All right, so we got 4 of our TGR 70 racks loaded. 4 will make a 10 stack twice, so 20 tubs worth. And also, it's kind of full because this is 2 days worth of rat food for us that Kurt already had back here. So if you want to know about breeding rats, how much we go through and what we use, people always ask, what do you feed? We feed Missouri, and those bags will get us through literally about 2 days. We also got some litter to start setting those tubs up and getting them ready. Speaking of the tubs, they are all right here, along with some hardware, some fresh water cups, and everything else. So now, it's on to the reptile party house. It's a snake farm. There's a whole song about that. We'll see you guys over there. Woo! So that was some work. We got it done though. So we have 2 racks over here. I'll come back tomorrow and run the heat, the thermostats, and everything else and get them going. But today I wanted to kind of show you this room, give you an idea of a little teaser how it's going to look. By putting them right here, it gives us enough access to still easily get in the door and easily get out without wasting any space. So what's going to be our baby room and cleaning area. I can also easily pop the tub out when the time comes and run it right in here where we'll have our sink. Whenever camera guy / electrician / plumbing guru Kurt comes and helps me install that. But we think, based on our measurements, from here to here, we can get 7 of those. Plus we can probably squeeze in 2 of the thinner racks that'll hold the adult males over here. And over here we could probably put 1 grow up, or we could put a grow up over there. And then what we can do along this wall is the same thing. Let's make sure we have space to open both tubs. We can run more here. And if we need to, we can run more along this rock wall. All walls are featured with outlets, which is awesome, except for the rock wall. Said the floor has one. That will present us with a few problems, but I think we can make it work. We may just leave a gap in our racks, like here and here, to run the cords up easier. But this room should work pretty well. Over here will be this door is going to either go or be inverted to the other side, giving us, get out the way, bag of reptile prime. Space here for all of our grow ups and things like that. We can add a few racks right here. Maybe our adult males, we'll probably get 3 across, maybe 2 across here, so I have room for that, plus some over here, and then of course the baby room. So that is how things are going to go. A few other really nice features. I'll go ahead and throw a tub together so you can kind of see how that's going to go in here, because there's a few things I'm really excited about. One, of course, we're still using Reptile Prime. Love it or hate it, we do like it. You just sprinkle it in there. Sprinkle it in there. One thing I'll show you guys, because some people don't understand it, and I can understand why, but it'll make a little sense when you see it, is when you look in here. One thing I like about Klein too is this coconut. So it's biodegradable. So if some of it gets on a prey item and they eat it, it's not going to cause problems. They eat a lot worse in the nature and in the wild. You can see how much I'm shaking it around and how little dust I'm actually producing. Is it 100% dust free? No, nothing really is. But is it less dust than, say, anything else I've worked with? Oh yeah. As I cough anyway. But if you look in here, when you sprinkle that in, you're going to get coconut in there. Now, if the snake wanted to ingest some of it, it wouldn't hurt anything. Here's the kicker. When you use these cups, that cup is going to sit on top of there. Now, when you look, it's always going to look like there's crap in there, even though there's really not on the bottom of the cup. Will you get some coconut in the cup occasionally? Yeah, you will. A rat will do this for you and kick a whole bunch in there. All you gotta do then is dump it out. Again, it's biodegradable. It's good to go. If it gets too foul or if one of them poops in it, throw the cup away and get another one. Not really rocket science here. One thing that's gonna make my life easier is this gadget here. And what this is our installed hose. So now instead of having to bring water jugs, have an expendable or extendable hose that will attach to the sink we bought. I'm going to change the nozzles. This is a temporary nozzle. And I can just come in here and I'll be able to spray water. When I get the nozzle I want, it'll be a lot easier. Can moisten the tub a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. A little bit more in there. A little bit more moisture. And done. So we will be able to do a lot of easy watering as opposed to having to refill and do things with a bunch of bottles that we currently have to use, which sucks, doesn't it, Kurt?
Yeah.
This will be a lot nicer. All right, so that is the first of hopefully many racks moved to our new reptile room. I'm still excited about it. You can see a lot of work has gotten done. About 95% of the paint work is done. The lighting is installed. Obviously, this is a work area, so some things I didn't care about, like it's still a rough cut there. I didn't want to drop light, so it is what it is. But it puts out good light everywhere. Some other things we will do over time is obviously reinstall the return air vent. And we need to come through and we need to seal all this. You can see it's been done over here. You may be saying, well, why is that important? Because it's here, 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 and I want to come and like seal all this up with caulking. Wouldn't worry about that if it wasn't a reptile room. But a snake can climb this wall. Would a ball python? Probably not climb up it, but I don't want it in my ceiling. And it's not, that's an animal that's lost that I'll probably never find. So what I want to do is work on getting this room eventually sealed. That'll be a long-term project where if something does get out, we really won't have to worry about it getting hurt. And that's kind of important to me. So we'll make sure it can't get in any of the vents. This has 4 vents too. So like for a baby that could possibly squeeze in there, what we'll do is just put a piece of screen so it couldn't do that to keep it out of those kind of things. But truth be told, we haven't had an escaped snake that wasn't completely me or somebody else being a dumbass since we switched to TGR racks. On my old hand-built rack, we had a few escapees. That's how that one snake got a little scar. But when we switched to these, we've never had one that's been able to find its own way out. So these are definitely as close to escape-proof as we're going to get. Slide real easy, works great. I'm excited to get them all in here. Kurt, anything you want to add about the reptile room and what we're going to do here? And again, these are going to be filled with the females that have offspring. So as the first females lay eggs, they'll move to the reptile house, and they'll be in here, and it'll be a slow transition. Once we finish and we're completely done putting males to females, which is actually coming up, we will start then moving the other racks over here. My goal is to do that pretty soon. I'd like to do that probably in April. The reason for that is when we get all those animals in here, it'll actually help with the heat in here because they're all going to be producing their own heat. It'll help these maintain a lot better. So we want to get as many of those in here as we can, as quick as we can. So that's kind of, but it's all about stressing those females. So it's about moving them one time to make them more likely to be ready to breed next season and not this season. Well, they're breeding this season, but I don't want them to take next year off because I move them in, I move them again, and I do all this. I want to make it stress-free on them with one move right after they lay like I would normally do. All right, Kurt, anything else you want to add or any questions?
Well, plus that'll help them get back on food.
Yes.
Stress.
Yes. Less stress, because a lot of times it'll take just a minute to get back on food after they lay eggs. When you have a fresh, clean, especially a new tub they're not in, there's no chance of there really being any scent in there, which is really going to help them to get back on food. They're not trying to coil or wrap or take care of their eggs like they would normally be doing, because once you remove that pheromone and that scent, then there's no thing that's telling them to do that. Their motherly instincts are kind of driven by those things and not by a will to, hey, where are my eggs at? They don't care once they're gone unless they think they're still there. Then they care greatly. So you're going to help them to get back on food by moving them. The problem comes in is that sometimes their body has been through so much, or they'll have some of that pheromone on them and it'll just take a few weeks to get them back eating. And when they lay eggs, their body has been through so much, right? Because unlike a human who's like, oh man, I got to eat for two, show me the buffet. Not trying to offend any pregnant ladies, just making an example. What you have here is they're like, I'm full. So there's all these eggs in me, I can't eat. So they don't. They go off food and they go through that entire quote-unquote pregnancy without eating for the most part, the vast majority. Every now and then you'll get one that does, but most of them don't. And then they're going to have those eggs. And I find that most of my females lose about a third of their body weight going through that process. So a 3,000 gram female is going to drop down to a lot of times about 2,000 grams. So then I got to get her back up to that weight. So the quicker I can get her eating, the more likely she's going to gain strength, gain weight, and be back ready to go the next season and not have to take a year off. Obviously, we're a business. We don't want them taking a year off. If they need to, will we give it to them? Absolutely, because it's better in the long term. But if we can get them ready to go without power feeding, we want to. And this gives them the best opportunity to do so. That one move and then being done with it. So every time they lay eggs, they get a fresh, clean tub. Maybe not a brand new tub, but usually new to them. If not new to them, I take theirs and I scrub it out in the whole 9 yards. Anything else, Kurt?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching, and congratulations. You got to see the first 2 racks come into my lovely new reptile room, the soon-to-be full home instead of partial home of Olympus Reptiles, which we have dubbed this place as Mount Olympus, overlooking the lake with the snakes. They have a better view than I do. It's kind of funny. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.